Hello and welcome back. We are the Full Time Ultras. My name is Aditya, and today I'm joined again by two United fans, starting with Shahan on my immediate left. How are you doing?
All good, all good. Not too bad. Actually, really bad, but
We'll see what.
football is dead, man. I'm.
We feel you, Riku.
Nah, football is dead, like really. I'm thinking of switching sport for this season. Cricket it is, man.
Guys, let's watch
Cricket is
cricket.
the sport.
It's 7
India,
or 7.
India is the only thing
India.
that's giving me happiness at the moment. So, yeah.
Well, maybe India will win the World Cup. Maybe.
Yeah. Ordering my jersey soon.
And on the far left, another disappointed, angry United fan, our very own rant man, Raghav.
You forgot in pain.
Copyright लगेगा भाई ऐसा सब मत बोल.
हाँ भाई वो
एक तो वीडियो उतर गया उसका ऑलरेडी.
वो छोड़ो ये in pain बोलना भूल गया तू.
In pain, yes, in pain.
Disappointed, angry, in pain, everything in one.
Too many
Let's
things
see.
to cover.
Let's see.
Anyway, we are here to preview Game Week 11 of the Premier League. We have some good fixtures this time. We've got Spurs versus Chelsea. We've got Newcastle and Arsenal playing. We have Brighton and Everton. And of course, we have United, who are... I mean, we'll see what they can do this weekend after back-to-back disappointing results. But let's start with Spurs-Chelsea. Spurs, Raghav, how do you see their season so far? They've been so good after two disappointing seasons.
Ange Ball is showing results. I think the attacking brand that he wants to play is bearing fruit, and he encourages his players to just bomb forward and just he gives them the freedom that they need. Maddison requires the freedom that he's got to show his creativity. Son has always been Son. He's just taken up the responsibility of being a captain, and he's also flourishing in that role. And I think Udogie, when he's the new signings, that is Udogie and Vicario, they've brought in a bit of stability in that defense. And Christian Romero is just flourishing more and more. He was a good signing, but he's showing his true colors as a defender. And Van de Ven has been the signing for, apart from Maddison. Alongside Maddison, I would say he's the joint top best signing for Spurs this season.
Yeah, Van der Ven, you mentioned Van der Ven. Shahan, we hardly even heard of the guy, and he's quite young. And at the time, I'm sure a lot of people thought, who is this guy and how is he being signed for, well, Spurs, who are supposed
Quite
to be
an expensive signing.
Exactly.
Like
Like, so
35
50
million. No, 50. I think 35, 40 million, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah. I think
Makes
it was
I think it was
35 to
around
40
35.
million. Yes.
and yeah, so like a side with ambition, supposedly, Spurs. But he's clearly proving to be up to the task.
They had problems last season at centre back, Tottenham. Somehow Dyer couldn't do that role. He was suspect. And then with Christian Romero, you require someone with a stable head to be besides him. And I think Van de Ven brings that. He's really very composed on the ball. He's lightning, man.
Oh,
like
man.
the guy for his size, like it's like the early Van Dijk regen. You know, you get these regens in
He's
FIFA.
like 6'3", 6'4".
And yeah, he's 6'3", I think 6'3" or 6'4".
He's too quick for that height, man.
And he's like really, really quick. And he doesn't look like he's taking like really long yards, but he's like actually really quick, you know. His stride is really quick, and his instant pace is also very good. So defensively, Spurs are looking like a good unit. I think they are complementing each other even with the fullbacks. Like Porro is a little bit more attacking than Udogie. So I think as of now everything is clicking for Spurs, but it's like the first season, you know. So
Yeah.
last season, even with Ten Hag, it was like it everything started clicking at one point. Maybe Spurs might do well this season, but you know next season what happens you don't know. But at the moment, everything is clicking for them.
No,
for
even
sure.
I feel that even this season they have a chance to drop off if one of Son, Maddison or Kulusevski or one of them gets injured, because they don't have the squad depth to deal with any injuries right now.
I mean, they do have Richarlison in as a striker, but
Okay, what do you say about the defense then? I don't think they have depth in defense, and even in attack, Richarlison. Okay, only Richarlison. What if two of them get injured? Like that is a possibility.
yeah,
You don't know when someone will get injured.
the-
It
So
is
they
a
don't-
project, I think. So
But
I
it's a good
think
start. It's a
Spurs
really good
have
start.
gone into this this season kind of making changes to the areas that cost them so much last season. So they got a left back in.
Yes.
Udogie was obviously signed last season, but he was on loan. But he's come in, stabilized that, made that Eric Dyer was sorry, not Eric Dyer. I'm sorry. Ben Davies was pretty suspect over there, so he's come in and done well. Van der Ven has been a big upgrade. Pedro Porro they bought in last January. He's come into that role. And then the midfield also, they've Bissouma's back to his best. They've got Bentancur coming back. They've got Pap Matessar, who looks like a different player at the moment.
He does.
So they've got all their bases set. Maybe next season they'll look to get that rotation right. They'll get to sign more players in. So as of now, they do have depth issues, because if Udogie is out, then again Ben Davies comes in. If something happens to Van der Ven, then again Eric Dyer comes in. So midfield, I think they're pretty much sorted.
Yeah.
But it's the defense and it's the attack that's the problem, because Son, he's free scoring. He doesn't get injured that much. But if something happens to him, then you're putting Richarlison over there. Also, Mano Solomon is also out. So you bring him. What about Brian Gill? Is he up to the task? He's never showed that for the price he's come in. So all those things are question marks at the moment, and the season will unravel all those questions.
Yeah.
But as of now, like I said, everything is going, and it's like a
More than
brilliant
Son,
start.
Tottenham don't have a replacement for Madison.
Like a creative force in that
they don't
midfield.
have a creative force.
They'll have
replace
to,
Maddison.
they'll have to use
In
them.
January, they might dip into the market, but currently they don't.
Yeah. Spurs looking good, top of the table. Their opposition, not so much.
Top of the bottom half.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
An improvement on last season.
Yeah.
Minor.
Yeah. I feel like the playstyle is better this time, and we are more.
A little bit, I would say.
Yeah. So we are more convincing between the two boxes, but it's in those two boxes that we are having real problems. We're conceding. I mean, I wouldn't even say they were. We're not conceding really clear chances. Sure, the Arsenal one, we had a total lapse in concentration, and the second goal against against Brentford, that's just a comedy of errors. But we haven't really been giving up too many clear-cut chances against us. And at the other end, we're creating a lot of chances, but it's just that we're just unable to get that ball in the net for on the offensive side, and on the defensive side we're conceding these kind of freak goals. So Antonio against West Ham, the Antonio goal that made it 2-1, that comes to mind. It's a freak shot out of long range. He really has nothing on. That one comes to mind. And the Ollie Watkins goal where Colville blocks the shot, and the rebound from such a tight angle, it goes through Sanchez's leg, and that's the only place it can go in. So do you think Chelsea, do you think there's apart from finishing, do you think the play style is an issue, or?
No, I don't think the play style is the issue. What the issue for Chelsea is, for me, is the attacking output. What the attacking output is not doing by scoring goals is it's putting more pressure on the defense.
Yes.
So if your attacking output can get goals, that automatically pushes the defense higher. So because what's happening is that because chances are not being converted, especially when they're playing at Stamford Bridge or they're playing away as well, the pressure is always, that Chelsea are not finishing their chances, so the pressure's coming on the defense, right? So I think the strikers need to do more in front of goal to elevate the pressure of the defense, and so that they can start pushing up higher as well, because I don't see Chelsea's line very high. They tend to drop a little bit deep in in most instances of the game. So they are not conceding a lot of goals, but also because their line is so behind, it's that even the attacking line drops back a little. So it's affecting their whole style in a way, is what I have seen with Chelsea. So I think if the attack can do a little bit more, take their chances early, especially if they can start scoring early. Because in many games that I have seen Chelsea play, I don't know, back me up if I'm wrong, but they are not able to get that early goal and start putting pressure on opponents.
Yes.
Right? So even once you're playing at home, if you score early, then the opposition is already under pressure.
Yeah.
So I think Chelsea need to do that more. Start games really positively
Yes.
and give more intent in those games. And I think if they start getting the goals, automatically the goals in defense the goals against will stop as well.
Yeah. So we've had, especially you spoke about being at home, the fans as well, and getting them into the game early on. If we get that early goal, then the fans are on side, and
Absolutely.
then we've got like that, that wave of positivity and that momentum. But now what's happening, particularly, I mean, like the most recent example is the Brentford game where we had clear-cut chances, we didn't put in the net, and like around halftime there was this sense of unease, like we've seen this story unfold a few times, and we might just concede one and then we're in trouble. But also on the injury aspect, we're like starting to see players come back. Badiashile is
came
back.
yes.
Reece James started again
बहुत
last
बढ़िया.
night. I'm going to just ignore that. So we might start getting more, and Nkunku is coming back soon. So hopefully Chelsea will get, better as time goes on. How do you see this game panning out, Sean?
Me, I think Tottenham are a little bit too strong at the moment. Defensively also, they are a little bit stronger. So I think Postecoglou is a smart manager. So he'll, like I said last time in the last episode as well, he'll go into this game knowing that Chelsea can be frustrated by organizing, by having Spurs organize their defense very well. So if he can set up a little bit of a low block, and how Spurs can be deadly on the counter. They're brilliant on the counter with pace from Kulusevski and Son up front, and also whoever starts, whether it's Brennan Johnson, who was fantastic in the second half against Palace. I would start, if I was Postecoglou, I would start him on the left over Richarlison because he has that electric pace.
Yes.
It could be a problem for Reece James or Gusto, whoever starting over there. So I can literally see Spurs setting up deep and then hitting Chelsea on the counter. And if it was Stamford Bridge, I would give Chelsea a chance. But I think at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where already they have momentum, the fans are buzzing, players have confidence, and with Chelsea the confidence is low. The Blackburn win will give them some confidence, but we've seen Chelsea win and then pull out a stinker. So I think Tottenham will go into this as favourites to win, and I back Tottenham in this as well.
And the score prediction?
Score prediction, I think there won't be many goals. Tottenham would not win by a big margin. I would see either, for me, I can see Chelsea scoring a goal, but I'd either go 2-0 Spurs or 2-1 Spurs.
Okay. Raghav, do you agree with what he said so far?
Yeah, because he's made all the points that Spurs are really, really good now, confidence-wise and team-wise. And Brennan Johnson is a really good player. But I can see, if Chelsea can nick a goal early, I can see them frustrating Tottenham back. So it's not that simple, because he also mentioned that if Chelsea can start scoring early and taking the chances while they are creating early, they can, the confidence build up is more in Chelsea than in Spurs, and they can frustrate Chelsea can frustrate Spurs in return. So I think it all depends on the start in the opening 20 minutes, but I still back Spurs because they're just too confident of a side. They just have too much creative force in their team currently. But I go for 2-1 Spurs win.
Okay.
Poch returning to Spurs, by the way.
That's,
oh yes,
that is
first time.
That's going to be crazy.
Dynamic.
It's going to be
and
a crazy.
Also this the confidence thing, the quality of opposition is something I would like to point out. That Blackburn and Tottenham are two very different.
No, but you also said that.
No, I'm just trying to say that confidence. If you win against any team by scoring free flowing, it's better than winning against an opposition rather than losing going into a big game like this, right?
Yeah.
So it gives you a little bit more of a push, or more of a hype kind of going into it. So I would anyway take, going into a fixture of this magnitude, I would take a win and go into it rather than going into it with a loss. So small positives are required to be taken from clubs like us. So
is Enzo back?
Yeah, Enzo's back. Enzo played yesterday.
And Mudryk?
Mudrik, I'm not sure. Just to clarify, we are recording on a Thursday, so we don't have the team news from the manager's press conference just yet. Mudrik, we'll find out. Enzo is definitely back.
Okay. Cool.
But to your point about confidence, I think a lot was made about, at least on this podcast, that Fulham and Burnley were just Fulham and Burnley, but then we pulled out a really good performance against Arsenal.
Yeah.
So I do think that counts for a bit, and also I think going away we'll probably set up to frustrate, like more of what we did against Arsenal in a way. Just set up and like to prevent them from getting those clear-cut chances.
I think it will be a really cagey start to the game.
Yeah.
It could be
It won't
cagey
be-
because
I
I
it won't be a
wouldn't.
free-flowing start.
Yeah.
It'll just be two sides cancelling each other out.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
looking for that one pass or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I also
But I don't
feel
think
that
it will be
Spurs would also want Chelsea to attack them.
Yes.
So, because Spurs would be wary of attacking Chelsea because both are good at the counter.
Yes.
So it will be a really interesting game to watch as to which team would start off better. Maybe Spurs will, obviously because of home support,
Yeah.
will go into it more attacking. But if Spurs do not score in the first 20 minutes, I do see them allowing Chelsea to attack them a little bit
Yeah.
so that they can counter attack. So
Yeah.
it'll be a really interesting game to
Yeah,
watch.
and I agree with the whole KG game because I think it'll be a bit, at least till the first goal goes in, it'll be KG, and that's why I feel Chelsea bias accusations coming. But I am going for a draw this time. I should have gone for a draw.
Slightly reserved
Yeah,
prediction.
it's because we're away from home, and again, I don't know how to predict.
Comfortable draw.
Yes, I said Brentford would be comfortable.
The guy was this close to saying a 2-1 Chelsea win. This close.
No, I
But he was
came in deciding that my prediction would be a draw because I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
Score.
1-1 draw.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, hopefully Chelsea don't make me eat my words this time.
High
Let's-
chances of that.
Possible. Let's move on. Newcastle against Arsenal is the next game. Newcastle. I mean, we'll get to last night's game, I'm sure, when we talk about Manchester United.
Hey,
But
Bhagwan.
Raghav,
I thought this
Newcastle.
was a cricket podcast. I was ready to talk about
We,
cricket.
we signed up for a Sri Lanka India game.
क्या
Yeah.
खेला India bro, like मजा.
Let's stay on topic. It's not just not time to get so despaired just yet. We'll get to United in a bit.
Cool.
But Newcastle, Raghav, what have you made of their season so far? They had a bit of a uncertain start, but they did play two big teams at the start. But now it seems like they've hit the ground, like they've found their form
Yeah,
at least.
it looks like they've found that formula, that they found that settled starting 11. I would say just that their changes in the front line is constant. It's nothing surprising. Almiron, Gordon absolutely had a fantastic start to the season. I think he took his time finding his feet at this club when he moved from Everton, but he's really hit the ground running in this season, and they're a good side, and with the improvements they've made in summer, they look like a better side than last season, and with Isak coming back whenever he comes back, it just makes them stronger and stronger, and I think there's only one way up for them. On the flip side, we have.
Yeah.
I'll leave it to you, but this is my take on Newcastle.
Yeah. We'll get to United. Don't worry. And Arsenal, Shahan, you've been saying from the start that they'll win this league. They'll win the title this season. Sorry. So
Wait, did I say they'll win it?
you did say it at
yeah,
least
he
on
said
In
the.
the
contenders.
start, what did I say in the
You said
preview?
contenders.
I said contenders.
I think
actually.
last season, last podcast you said they'll win it.
No, I said they are
He said he's
last
close to
episode.
challenging
Yeah,
it.
last
I
episode.
said last episode that more than Liverpool,
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
I said Arsenal
Arsenal
will
are
be
contenders. Yeah. you
will
might-
be closest to challenging
Yes.
City,
and-
challenging City,
Yeah.
and they are not overrated. They are not an overrated team as to how Rico portrayed them. They had a really bad result yesterday.
Yeah.
But
No, but it was seriously second string lineup.
yeah,
man.
they
Front
put
line
out
of Nketiah, Nelson, and this guy. What was his name?
Havertz.
Not.
Did you see
Wasn't
one of his touch that he took?
I did not watch this
Oh
game.
my god, that touch was like, oh, I don't know what he did, whether he was trying to like control it or trap it or like loop it. But if you see it, you'll be like, Havertz is on some sort of psychedelics or something like that. But but yeah, it was a second string side, and West Ham totally steamrolled them. It was a strong West Ham lineup as well.
Yeah.
Bowen and Kudus and all of them. Kudus scored a fantastic goal yesterday.
Kudos to him.
So yeah. But going into this, I think they'll get their act together. They have Odegaard to come in. They had Rice to come in. They have Saka to come in. Martinelli didn't start, I think, as well.
No, I don't think. No, he didn't
So they have their main starters to come in, and Arsenal did, considering how strong Newcastle United were last season at St James's Park. I think Arsenal would go in strong, and I think Arsenal can get something from that game.
Yeah, and speaking of last night, Ramsdale started and conceded 3 goals. So
Couple of errors as well
Yeah.
over there.
So
Yes.
Ben White had a stinker.
Hmm?
Ben White had a stinker.
No, but Ramsdale
but-
also was suspect for some goals.
No, yeah.
and like the focus is always going to be on Ramsdale
yeah, of
right
course.
now.
That's
given-
what happens. See, the thing is, that's what happens when you have two goalkeepers.
Yeah,
Is that when you have another one capable enough waiting in the wings,
Yeah.
then that's going to put more pressure.
yeah,
Now with Onana doing all his gaffes, you know that Onana is the one, right? People are not expecting the second keeper Binder to come in and
yeah.
replace Onana. So that's what the two goalkeeper scenario does, and it just puts added pressure, which I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
If you have a dedicated number one, it should be the
Yeah.
dedicated number one. It's best for both. Even for the keeper who's number one, if he knows that someone keeper who he knows if someone's waiting in the line, he's like there's extra pressure on him,
Yeah.
knowing that if I do a mistake,
Yeah.
that guy's over there. So it's like more pressure. That's why I don't agree with the
Yeah.
two system thing.
And this was worse actually for Ramsdale because it seems like Raya's the clear number one here, and it's
I
like
think
Ramsdale.
leaving in the summer.
I can see him.
I can seriously see Ramsdale leaving.
I can see him leaving in Jan. We
In
have
Jan
a
as
Euro
well.
next year, so
Oh yeah, Euros.
Where do you
He-
think he goes if he leaves? What club?
Manchester
I don't know.
Nah. And you never know.
Oh Nana.
What if everything leads to United? Now, what if Ten Hag gets sacked and Graham Potter comes in?
No. I think we need a keeper because Onana is going to miss 7 games
That
for due to AFCON.
Binder will do it, I think. They very well knew it, I think. I think Binder will do it. But what if Graham Potter comes into
Yeah.
United? I could see Graham Potter going in for Ramsdale. But nah.
Nah, I don't.
What has my club
Only
done
ETH
to
man, only ETH please.
Oh my god. अबे छोड़ो क्रिकेट का बात करते हैं फुटबॉल छोड़ो
Yeah. Well, I'll just get quickly your predictions. We've been giving like sneak peeks into the next topic already, so let's just get this one
No,
out of the way.
but considering Arsenal, like I just want to say something
Yeah.
about Newcastle United. They have a lot of injuries going
Yes.
into the game, and they could get in. Like Botman and all are still out. They were able to rest Trippier and all their other players. Gimaresh also came in later. Almiron came in early because
Yeah.
they had a forced injury. But Newcastle looked good yesterday because we'll obviously come into it because Manchester United was shit.
Yeah.
So Newcastle going into Arsenal into the Arsenal game with a 3-0 win does not mean
Yeah.
anything, right? So that doesn't automatically give Newcastle United the advantage. But yeah, I think Arsenal with resting their squad, I think they go into this game as favorites.
Yeah.
So with that, I feel
Newcastle at home though.
yeah, I feel Arsenal will get the job done. For me, Arsenal will win this game 2-1.
And you prediction?
I contradict him because Newcastle at home is a really dangerous thing,
Yeah.
a dangerous prospect.
Yeah.
I
Do you
go
know
for,
that? Did you know that their pitch, their stadium's built on a hillside or something? So there's a slope. So their pitch is sloped at an angle.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I think they tend to attack downhill in the second half most of the time. And like so, I don't know if it's very clear on TV cameras, but I did notice it in the Dortmund game where they ended up losing, funnily enough. But their pitch there's a slight slope to it.
भाई क्या चीटिंग है ये सब भाई क्या है ये
Replay करो replay. No, I'm coming back to my prediction.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle at home is like what the fans are their 12th man.
Yeah.
Like they bring a
Ooh.
lot. The atmosphere is crazy at St.
Yeah.
Regis Park,
The
especially since last season.
yeah.
Since the time they've started performing well in the league and in the cups and whatever it is. I think the atmosphere is crazy. I could seriously compare it to Anfield,
Yeah.
St. Regis Park, considering the volume of fans, whatever it is.
they haven't done very well with the top teams though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
thing with
I'll still
Newcastle.
go for a Newcastle win.
Newcastle
Yeah,
win.
Dortmund coming in and also
Yeah.
defending well.
Yeah.
I think teams can this season
no,
come
but
to. I know
I
Newcastle dominated, but
yeah.
Dortmund.
No, I was going to bring up the PSG result, but I stopped myself because PSG aren't really playing like a top side
Exactly.
anymore.
So I think
Sorry.
a well-drilled side with a clear identity can come in and do damage to Newcastle. We saw what Liverpool did
Yes.
with
10
10
men.
men. So yeah, I think Arsenal will just have enough. And plus, coming in after losing, they'll have an extra point to prove.
Yeah.
So I expect a performance from Arsenal.
Yeah.
I
expect them to
go
win.
for 1-0 Newcastle.
1-0 Newcastle. You expect them to keep a clean sheet then?
Yeah.
You don't have much hair to lose. Again.
I'm not betting my hair. this time. Last
But
time
yeah,
I did-
Newcastle it's
No,
possible
it's-
for
it's
them.
possible
to keep
for
up.
sure.
It's not that crazy of a prediction
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
made. He's made worse.
Mm-mm.
So yeah.
What's worse have I made? And they've turned out to be correct.
It's really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
the
you
last
know,
week one is an exception because I was being delusional.
Do you want our viewers to know why your hair is that short?
I mean, we mentioned it already, so might
Do you
as
know
well.
the North London Derby prediction you made?
That was not on the record, guys. That was
You
not on
stopped
Let's get it
drinking
on record.
alcohol after that as well. It affected him so much.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a tight game. I mean, it'll be a close game. I don't think it'll be a tight game. I think both teams have it in them to concede. So I'll go 2-2. Like I feel like
that's a good shout as
Yeah,
well.
I
actually.
feel like-
draw is a good shout as
I
well.
feel like they're like neither side's been too convincing. Like they're good defensively, but they've not been exceptional defensively, and they each have the attack to unlock the other. So I think
Yeah.
What did you say? Prediction?
2-2.
2-2.
So it's now that time of the show. We have Fulham versus Man United. Sorry. And let's start with last night again. What went wrong for Man United, Sean?
I think Bumrah bowled fantastically well today. He is like the Indian bowling unit is fantastic. Like
Oh
the
man.
way they are
I
performing.
think Shami has been a revelation for the past 3 games.
Absolutely.
All
Fight
right,
for
all
against
right,
this guy
all
is-
right.
350. You said Shreyas Iyer would not score.
We've
Oh, yeah, he did.
gone off
he made me
topic
eat my
far enough.
words.
Huh?
He made me eat my words. That's
Then-
it.
We've
what I'm
we've
saying.
gone far away from the topic already.
Acha.
Let's get back to it. Manchester United.
Acha, we are doing a football podcast.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh guys, sorry guys.
I
we
just
forgot.
slipped
I
out
just-
of
yeah.
reality, but it felt good. It felt good to talk about India. But
Well, to talk about something that is actually winning.
Yeah.
Acha, you want me to?
Yeah.
Talk
yeah,
about
go
United.
ahead.
Winning at home, guys.
I mean,
winning
I'll
at
get
home.
both of your thoughts on this because, come on.
Abu, just one thing. Just correct your question. I think just ask what went right. The list is shorter,
Yeah.
so then
yeah.
we
well,
can just
where do you start
shift-
with what
yeah,
went wrong?
exactly. What
No,
went-
there's nothing that went right. Number one.
exactly. List ended, so we'll go to the what went wrong.
Number two is
Cannot
that
escape this one, yeah.
the pressure is building. It's slowly building.
Yeah.
I was reading now. It's like the same cycle for some managers in the second year where these rumors now start creeping in that there's some there's some dressing room discontent. We've seen this. We've been here with the last 2 managers, and this keeps on happening. And if this keeps on happening, it's like so unfair, like for the manager, because that's the cheapest route to get rid of it, right? But the agonizing issue of this setup is from top to bottom, and for me, it's the squad that's the problem. Because if this was the first instance or the second instance, if this was happening, then I can say that yeah, this is an issue with the manager, right? But if this keeps happening for like with 3 managers in succession,
Yeah.
that means there's a problem with the players. And I just can't believe how the media is just targeting the manager that
Yeah.
much, because I just don't know how the media is not smart enough to see that is the core of these players that's the problem. And yeah, with the performance last night, it was really flat.
Yep.
They did nothing to trouble the goalkeeper. There were changes. Obviously, Bruno didn't start. Rashford didn't
Yep.
start. Um, who else? Casemiro came into the side, but he didn't look fit. He went off injured.
Yep.
Mason Mount was not good enough. Horrible game. Mabry was really poor as well. The defending was horrible. I felt that Newcastle cut through us like a hot knife into butter.
Yep.
Lackluster, and that performance at home really signifies that there's something really wrong. I don't know whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, whether these guys just can't play or they're just not good enough. Last season was like a completely different story,
Yep.
and like how can how can your levels drop down so much?
Yep.
Is the manager good enough? Not good enough? Last season he finished third when nobody thought that United would finish third. He got us a trophy, finished in
Yeah.
a FA Cup final, Europa League quarter-final, overachieved in fact last season.
Yep.
So I don't know where does the blame lie. Obviously the blame does lie with the setup. There was a chance for the whole thing to be reset, but the owners are not going. When will the takeover be completed? There's total uncertainty over that as well. So the whole mood around the club is like from the players to the manager to the upper hierarchy. It's just low at the moment, and it feels like it's that sickening feeling to be a United fan is back.
Yep.
It leaves a sour taste in your mouth
Yep.
after every game. And yeah, it's I don't know where the light is in this tunnel. I can't
Yeah.
see the light.
Yeah, so it does seem like this is like an endless cycle
It's
post
just
Ferguson.
like a loop.
Yeah, post Ferguson, like you've had you have a manager who comes in, delivers a few results, like goes down, gets sacked, and like this it's just been a loop since Ferguson's gone.
Yes.
So yeah, Raghav, what do you make of that cycle, and also where do you go from here?
I seriously don't know where we go from here because the summer is gone.
Yeah.
Summer was the time where we had the chance to do something about the problems that were in the squad. I think we needed a strike. I think what to say, where to start, because we needed some midfield reinforcements. I don't think Casemiro was the solution. We thought he was the solution, but I don't think. I always thought that he was 2 to 3 seasons max a stopgap solution. But we needed that. Amrabat is not fitting into the squad. Mount is not fitting into the squad. He's not able to impact the way we thought he would. He's not able to play in that number 8 role.
Yeah.
He wants to play further up. He wants to play in that 10. So I think we've got our signings a bit wrong. We should have got another centre back in.
Yes.
We probably should have got maybe, I don't know, a right winger in or whatever it is. I don't know what's wrong. But the confidence really matters because there is no confidence in the squad right now. You need confidence to play. Apart from ability or whatever it is, apart from tactics,
Yeah.
you need confidence to play.
Yeah.
There isn't. That confidence is negative right now.
Yeah.
The
So-
craziest thing is that if Ten Hag is to be sacked,
Yeah.
United will have to pay them 15 million, and apparently United will have to pay him 15 million
Yeah.
for him to leave. And apparently, I don't think they have the 15 million. They don't have the money.
Guys,
because
we are the
they're
new
broke.
Barca guys. We are the new
So-
Barca. Don't worry.
They didn't have the money to pay Amrabat as well because of
Mhm.
the financial fair play, and apparently they just don't have cash at the moment. So how do they sack the manager? Where do they cough up that
Yeah.
15 million to sack Eric Ten Hag? I don't feel he should be sacked, but I have been in this scenario and I have seen how these things end up, and it starts like this.
Yeah.
And when players start turning against the manager, then that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Normally. And
Not
I
with
would
the-
have liked
and
to
not
see.
with the current scenario where he's bust up with 2 players. One ended up leaving for Saudi, and another is banished from the first team facilities.
Yeah.
So that doesn't give a good sign. But I think Eric Ten Hag should be backed. I still think he can do the job. He can turn this round. So I still back my manager.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I because see, the thing is like I said, it's like a loop. What do you, if you sack Ten Hag, who do you get? Who's out there? like in the market.
Yeah.
You'll have to go with a caretaker manager as well. And last time we sacked Ole and we got in Ranić,
Yeah.
and the season didn't end well.
Yeah.
So what do you do, right? So I would rather stay until and unless it's like a really bad scenario where every player has turned against the manager and the players and the manager just can't see eye to eye, maximum of them. Then I think maybe they might sack him. But who comes in and fixes this issue? I don't see any manager on the market at the moment capable enough to come in. And until and unless the structure over the manager is not sorted enough, no manager can come into this setup and make United tick. Like Klopp can't come in and do it. Pep can't come in and do it. Like the best of managers, I am 100% sure cannot come in and get this club running until and unless the whole hierarchy on top is changed. So this club not only needs a change, I don't think Ten Hag is the massive problem in this. You know, Ten Hag is just like all the managers before. Ten Hag is the smoke screen that you just get rid of, and then you try to show that, oh, there's a change. But actually the manager is not the biggest of problems, and the media and everyone have got this wrong. And the United fans still retain the backing of the manager. But yeah, when there's media pressure, when there's social media pressure, you know, you cannot do anything. So we'll have to see what happens. But he needs to start winning soon. Otherwise, this is gonna build.
Yeah. What is it? 8 losses in 15 or something it is? Right now?
Yeah.
It's 8 losses in 15 games.
I think
so
it's
far.
our worst home start since 1930. And there was another stat which I cannot remember, but it was bad as well. But oh yeah, we have lost more home games since the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson. We've lost more home games than Sir Alex has ever lost in his tenure. So that just shows how this institution, this footballing institution, has dropped. And
it's a damning stat.
It's really, both these stats have been horrible. And for the first time as a United fan coming into this game, I'll go into this game saying Fulham are favourites. Absolutely, with what I've seen for the last 2 games.
Yeah, let's get into it. Fulham, you've go ahead, Fulham.
I put Fulham favourites because they did very well at Brighton. Brighton had their chances to score. But they did stay in the game, and they took their chance. Palhinha shouldn't have been on the field to score that goal, but they took their chances. They stayed in the game, and they got a point from Amex, which a lot of teams don't. Then they backed that performance up in the Carabao, or it was Ipswich, but they got that win. So 2 back-to-back wins, confidence develops. So, and with United 2 back-to-back wins, with having not scored a single goal, conceding 6. They with Casemiro out as well again.
Oh, is he injured again?
He got injured. So he was rushed back and he's back injured. But a little bit of a sigh was that Van Bissaka has come back. So Dalot was horrendous last night.
Oh man.
Malacia would be coming in. Reguilon was poor as well last night. So a little bit of Varane is back. So a little bit of hope. Maybe. But the players look beaten, man. The confidence is highly shaken. So with Fulham, I think it's the best possible chance to get their first win against Manchester United since 2008-2009. They haven't beaten United
since then
in the league since 2008-2009, where they had consecutive victories at Craven Cottage. And in those 2 games, United didn't score a single goal as well. So they go in with I think their best chance to beat Manchester United since 2008-2009.
Yeah, I do agree with you at least on the best chance bit, because I don't think I've seen a United side that is this deflated, like at least against the Fulham at least.
I saw it against Ole. I saw it
towards the end.
Mourinho as well. It always happens towards the end. They get deflated.
But like Fulham haven't played such a side in a while, obviously.
There's a mentality issue with these players. Because when things start getting bad, they can't pick themselves up. It requires a reset. But that reset, it keeps happening. So what I want to see is that I want to see this manager given time and be given preference over the players. and whichever players are not able to perform, to slowly start, getting them out.
Yeah.
Will we be able to see this with Sir Jim coming in? Does he have enough of money to sell these players or let these players go? Time will tell, but I don't think so.
Yeah, and like we see this often with managers and players. Like, when something's going wrong, it's easier to replace one manager than it is to replace like a squad of players. And like, in most cases, you see the manager go, unless like, you would need to be like a really high, like a Pep or a Klopp, to stay beyond like some situation like this.
The
I
best
would
teams in the league
Yeah,
have really good institutions about them.
that is true.
The thing is that the clubs are run very well.
Yeah,
You look at Newcastle with Dan Ashworth coming
Yeah.
in from Brighton. You look at Brighton, how they operate.
yeah,
You look at now Chelsea is doing
Yeah.
that as well. They've got the right people who specialize in sport
Yes.
into the team.
We've got the
You look
Brighton
at
team
Arsenal,
on.
who have learned from their mistakes. They've got Edu in, and they've started they started getting their sports department right. City had Shiki Bergestein and Soriano 1 year before Pep came in,
Yeah,
so they already started implementing their way
yes,
before Pep could already come in.
yeah,
So with United, it's like the entire opposite.
yeah,
And there was I just came across a quote that Ronaldo made in that Piers Morgan interview, and I don't agree with a lot of things he said, but there's this one thing he said which I really agree, is that United is not a sports club. It's a marketing club.
yeah,
They don't care about results. As long as United finish in the top 4, the Glazers are happy because they've got the Champions League income coming in,
yeah,
and they've made their buck. So United do not need to win a Premier League for the Glazers to move out. It has to be like United finishing 10th, 12th for like
Yeah.
back-to-back seasons, or fans targeting sponsors, money coming in.
yeah.
That's how it will affect Glazers.
Yeah.
But as long as United finish 4th, the Glazers are
Yeah.
happy with that. We don't need to be winning championships, Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues
Yeah.
for them to be happy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Raghav, another talking point that's been making waves recently is the captaincy issue. Bruno Fernandes, you had Roy Keane and Jamie Carragher saying he whines too much, get the armband off him. You had Ben Foster as well on his podcast saying, like, if you have a teammate or a captain who's, waving his arms about and, whining a lot when things are not going well, you don't want that in a dressing room. What is your take on that?
I seriously don't agree with that, because I still think that Bruno is still our best player, and he backs the whining and whatever waving of arms he does. That's how he plays. That's not him whining because sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong, or whatever it is. I won't say anything about that. But that's how he operates. He's still our best player. And who else is there on
That's
that
what-
pitch? Who else is the leader on that pitch?
who do you
Who do you think
if you
can
take
replace
it out
Bruno Fernandes as
Bruno,
the captain?
who do you give the captaincy to?
I know.
Do you want to give it to Rashford,
I
whose confidence is at an all-time low?
You want to put
Do
more
you want to
pressure
give
on
it to
him?
Casemiro? Do you want to give it to like Harry Maguire back? So Harry Maguire is certainly not coming back as captain.
no.
Because
There's
Casemiro and
no-
Varane's futures are not secured for the next season.
yeah,
So there is
So-
no other player who is a leader on that pitch that can be the captain for Manchester United. It's simple as that. And he is a leader. He leads the team, and how much he leads by example in most games. His work rate is incredible, and he creates chances. Whatever he does, we don't convert them. That's a different issue altogether.
yeah,
But when he creates chances, he's our best player.
yeah,
His stats are still good this
His
season.
stats are still
If
good.
you see his creation stats,
yeah,
they're still good.
I think he's created the most big chances for us this
And
season.
also, United have the most highest turnovers in the league. But the thing with United is, and Bruno Fernandes is responsible for half of those high turnovers.
yeah,
And Bruno Fernandes is responsible for half of those, creating half of those.
yeah,
But the problem has always been that they can't score. Like the strikers have not. Last season they were,
yeah,
but this season they have not been able to score.
yeah,
So Bruno Fernandes goes under the eye a little bit because maybe his whining and all of that takes more spotlight.
Yeah.
yeah.
But if you actually see Bruno Fernandes play, he works his socks out,
yeah,
and he's always over there. And
yeah,
people think that it's whining, or people think, but for me, it really shows that he cares
Mm.
on the field.
Yeah.
Like a lot of players in our squad, their heads drop,
Yeah.
and then their body language is like so. I would rather have someone whining and someone actually shows that he cares rather than people who are like deflated.
Do
you know?
you see
So-
Rashford in the 75th minute or the 80th minute? His track back just stops or it just goes down when he's playing on the wing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bruno Fernandes will track back and track his midfielder, his man, with the same vigor in the 95th minute.
Yeah.
That's the difference between Bruno Fernandes
I'm sure
and
his
Rashford and the other.
personality is not likable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But Bruno Fernandes is a player like when he's in your team, you would really like him.
Yeah.
So I agree where the opposition fans are coming in from, that they feel that Bruno is the problem. But to be really honest, Bruno Fernandes has been the best signing
Yeah.
since Sir Alex Ferguson
Yeah.
left. Right? So people need to put a little bit of respect on his name. His stats have been unreal in the Premier League. And he's only behind Kevin De Bruyne when it comes to the most creative
Yeah.
midfielders. The problem with Bruno Fernandes is that he's playing in this United squad. You put Bruno Fernandes in that Manchester City team and Bruno
Yeah.
Fernandes is a different player,
Yeah.
right? He's been fantastic, and last season he was brilliant as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the deputy of Harry Maguire, he was on the field leading from the front,
Yeah.
scoring and being that personality in the dressing room. So let's not just put individual blames on Fernandes and on Ten Hag. The whole team needs
Yeah.
to
And this
take
blame is coming now because this is all happened too quickly.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes being given the captaincy, the downfall of Manchester United this season, Eric Ten Hag by having
Yeah.
the pressure on him. So it's all happened all together. If Bruno Fernandes wasn't the captain, what do you say that I'm just imagining the situation if Harry Maguire was still the captain of Manchester
Yeah.
United and he was not being picked
Yeah.
and we were in this situation,
Yeah.
the media would have gone absolutely
because the
they would
pressure
have
on
gone
Rashford is
mad.
not that much.
Yeah.
Why isn't the media talking about Rashford that
Yeah.
much?
Yeah.
And why is the
they would have
focus?
gone mad.
Rashford,
Why is the focus just on the foreign players?
True.
You know, so
Rashford's
that's
been
an
pretty
issue.
poor,
So yeah.
Anyway, let's move forward. Just let me get your predictions. Shan, prediction for this game?
I don't know. Like I said, Fulham go into the game as favorites, so it's a shock. I
Are
would
you really going to say Fulham win?
I would say Fulham win.
Okay.
Like I'll be realistic.
Okay.
Like there's a point in football where you want to back your team,
Yeah.
but as per what I'm seeing, like I'm rational in that way. I
Yeah.
go into what I've seen. I've stayed awake till 4 o'clock to see
Yeah.
that, and what I
see
see
that.
is just 11 players or a squad of 22 deflated,
Yeah.
and Craven Cottage will be up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for a 2-1 Fulham win in this.
Okay. Raghav?
Go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw.
I don't see us winning in this with the low morale in the squad, with I don't know, with the situation around the club. Even the manager sounds deflated these days.
Yeah.
He just says that we need to start again, but we don't see that start.
Yeah.
Where is that start? You need to start somewhere. Just win a Fulham game, just win a cup game, just do something. So I don't see us winning. I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
Okay. Yeah. I do see y'all winning, so I think y'all will just edge it 2-1, like just nick it somehow at the end.
Because
Get over
the
that.
only
tables have
positive
indeed
in
turned.
terms of the stats I have seen is that
Yeah.
when United do have a lot of high turnovers
Yeah.
in the game, and Fulham concede the most.
Okay.
So Fulham have conceded the most goals from high turnovers.
Okay.
So I think that could be the only positive I see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a tough
Yeah.
game, and I don't see United winning. So hopefully they do. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, moving across Manchester, City versus Bournemouth. I mean, quick. Like, I don't think we need to spend too much time on this game. I don't think, anyone's really.
Is the camera on me, producer? Is it on me now?
Yeah. 5
5.
only.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
5-0.
You, Raghav?
6-7.
Yeah.
इसने 5 बोला ना,
Yeah.
मैं 7 बोलता
It's the
हूँ.
perfect stat padding
Yeah.
fixture
Exactly.
for.
Haaland will score 4. Alvarez will get 3 assists.
I'm actually really tempted to triple captain Haaland.
No.
Surely.
So tempted, bro.
No.
but I wouldn't. But I don't know. There's
I
just
think, yeah, same
something is
final-
tingling in my head.
5-0
Yeah.
City.
Haaland is
Yeah.
due a hat trick soon.
5-0 City.
Yeah. Even I'll go big. I'll go. I mean, not as big as you all, but I'll go 4-0 City. I
वाह
think,
भाई वाह
like,
क्या
it's-
मतलब
I mean,
a little 5-0 से 4-0
Yeah,
तक है
it's
क्या
just-
बात है यार आपको
I thought he
मतलब
would
not
say
as-
2-0.
not-
एकदम मेरे को लगा
नहीं,
2-0 हाँ
2-0,
2-0 3-0 थी 5-0
I
से
did
4-0
say I'll go
तक आया
big, but not as big as yours. So,
That's what she said.
Of course.
nice
Yeah, another. Well, as you said, it's stat pad game. I guess Luton versus Liverpool. I don't think much time needs to be spent here either.
Luton home
Luton at home, but come on. I mean, you think Luton can get okay?
I didn't
Let's-
say
No, I'll
anything
go bold.
Huh? You'll go bold.
I didn't say
He-
anything.
I
he seems like he's
think
going to go
think Luton can score 1 against Liverpool. Nah, but
Not gonna lie, he had us in the first half.
Liverpool. You want quick prediction?
Yeah. I mean, like, do you think anything else is going to happen in this game?
3-4-1 Liverpool. I can see Luton scoring though.
You can see Luton scoring 4-1.
I don't know.
You?
4-0
4-0.
Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't see Luton scoring because, I mean, I'll go 3-0 as well. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see Luton scoring.
Hopefully.
Stat pad game again.
Liverpool defender in my team, but yes.
Yeah.
Still
Another game that could be interesting is Brighton versus Everton at the Amex. Brighton coming off their surprising draw against Fulham.
Hmm.
Everton coming off a good win against West Ham,
Yes.
and West Ham away that was. So, what do you think of that one, Raghav? Do you see any surprises here, or
I think I would say that Everton go into this game as favourites.
okay? That's
No,
bold.
because based on the performance in the last
Yeah.
two games, I think Everton can win this one. Because Brighton are not as good as they were last season. They're settling into the new system.
Is it at the Goodison or is it
It's
at
Goodison.
No, it's at Amex.
It's Goodison.
It's at Amex.
Am I Max?
It's at Amex.
Oh, sorry, my bad. No, I think with their last two performances, Everton have played well, and Brighton still seem that they are settling into their new system, and the new players and the new signings are still looking to settle back into the squad, and I don't think that they seem to have a settled with their injuries as well, like Estupinian, the others.
I'm sorry, actually, it is at Goodison. I had that the
Oh
other
yeah,
way
that's
around.
why
My mistake.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's at
pretty
Goodison.
it is at Goodison. It's my
I was
mistake.
pretty sure
I
that
had
I
it the
saw
other way
the
around.
fixture
Yeah.
list, yeah. So at Goodison, at home, I think Everton can win this, and Brighton, I think they're just too unpredictable this season. What will happen? Yeah, Everton. You want me to give my prediction?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, 2-1 Everton.
2-1 Everton. Sean?
I also thought it was at the Amex. That changes it a little. I don't see Everton winning. Definitely, I don't see Everton winning. Maybe a draw. I would say Everton have been impressive. It's tough, man.
Yes, it's such a tight fixture to call.
Yeah, I'll go for a draw.
A draw.
I'll go 1-1.
1-1. Okay. Yeah, for me, like, it's all about how Everton set up because Brighton have struggled against those
Low blocks.
low blocks. The size that
Still
West Ham-
remember what West Ham did.
Exactly. Like, perfect game plan against Brighton. So I feel like if Everton play the way they played against Liverpool, then they're going to be opened up like crazy. But if they sit back, they could get something out of the game. But I still think Brighton just have a bit too much in them. So I'll give Brighton the edge. 2-1 Brighton.
Okay.
Next we have we're another game which I don't think we'll have any debate on. Forest versus Villa.
Villa away, na?
Villa are away.
Villa win.
I mean, I don't think that was in doubt.
3-1 Villa.
2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. Are you like trying to rack up points for bold predictions? And
No, because I just have that feeling that Nottingham Forest at home could whip up some magic or something.
He wants footage.
Yeah, it's like every time something like this happens.
No, because
you have this bold prediction, and then if
No.
it just happens by chance, then you're like, maine bola tha.
no, it's in the air. I won't say that I'm saying it out of stats or something.
Yeah.
Because
He wants to be on the next reel, that's why.
no, it's just that who did Villa beats Brighton 6-1,
Yeah.
but got whacked 5-1 by Newcastle on the opening
That was
game.
the opening day of the season. No.
So I think that I'm
That's
just
even-
betting on the unpredictability
No,
of this
I
league.
mean, like, it's different if those things happen like back-to-back game weeks or something, but you're literally talking,
No, yeah, but
you're going backwards.
I'm predicting. I'm depending on the unpredictability of this league.
Okay.
So I think Nottingham Forest might
Will-
just. I'm still going draw. I'm not
Okay.
saying it's a Forest win.
Okay. We'll see if you're right. I mean, you've had some horrible takes on the show so far.
You gave
so-
your prediction?
Oh no, I have yet to give my prediction. I think it'll be 4-1 Villa.
4-1.
You
Villa.
can't say such things to me after your Burnley takes for the past 2-3 weeks.
That's true, actually. That's true.
You said 1-0 United
yeah,
win in the
that's
derby,
the worst
bro.
one on the show so far. I just want to say that's the worst one on the show.
No, that and that was not on the show, but
Which one?
Spurs to keep a clean sheet at Emirates.
Oh, I mean that's still him. Like
Ah.
that still goes to him, basically. So like on the show so far, you've had the worst prediction. You mentioned Burnley, so yeah, Burnley versus Crystal Palace.
I think we'll start with you on this one.
I'm
Burnley at
going to
Burnley at home?
Burnley are at home, but I'm going to step off the Burnley bandwagon for a bit.
Oh, finally! The confidence.
The funniest
is
thing to
gone.
happen, Burnley win.
Oh yeah, it'll be really. I'll give up predictions then.
Sorry?
I'll give up prediction. I'll just stop predicting games because like clearly I have. Yeah.
Vincent Company will call you that fucking. You stop predicting our games.
Yeah. I think Palace will take this one.
This is
1-0.
Palace away.
Palace are away. Burnley
Yeah.
at home. But I
Burnley
think
home हुआ तो Palace away होएगा ना.
अरे नहीं सुना ना Burnley home. I didn't hear it ना.
कैसा आदमी है
गलती
रे?
है क्या? नहीं
इधर
सुना.
क्या ट्रिपल थ्रेट मैच चालू है?
You forgot the point you were making. I think Chelsea need to sell players.
let's get back to
Chelsea
topic.
can't score goals, so they should sell players.
Let's get back to
Chal, ठीक
topic. Yeah, I think Palace will win 1-0.
1-0?
Yeah,
I think Palace will win 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, Raghav.
I can see Burnley.
You're going to say Burnley win, aren't you?
I'm so tempted to say that, but I will say a Burnley win. At
Okay.
home, I think Burnley can
So
win.
tempted to say, but I'll say.
But you will say it.
Yeah,
So
I am tempted and I will say.
Okay.
I'll
And
say
yes.
2-1 Burnley win.
Okay. Everyone's got it tight. I mean, I don't know.
Considering what I
No,
saw
I don't
of
think, I
Palace
don't think
against
there
Spurs,
are a lot of goals in this game.
Yeah,
for
sure.
for
what
sure.
I saw Palace against Spurs,
Yeah, I think Palace will.
company is
it,
getting
yeah.
sacked next.
Yeah, it's a surprise actually. No Premier League manager has been sacked so far.
Who gets sacked first?
एक हुआ है ना?
Company
कौन?
और कौन हुआ?
कौन हुआ है? कोई नहीं हुआ अब तक.
No, the Bournemouth guy. No,
That was
Bournemouth.
last season.
Bournemouth
I
guy-
remember last
Bournemouth
season.
guy is
Yeah, my
there.
No one's been sacked this season so far.
No one?
No.
Ten Hag
damn.
could be the first? Shit! Damn! ये रील है भाई. Note कर दे.
डालो भाई. Move along, boys.
Okay. We're clearly getting more chaotic as the night goes on. Let's just wrap this up. It's Sheffield United versus Wolves. Yeah, Raghav, go ahead. Sheffield
Sheffield
United,
at
sorry.
home?
Sheffield United at home.
2-0 Wolves.
Yeah. They don't have Pedro Neto, by the way. Their
They
main
have Wang
creative force.
Hee-chan.
But their creativity, their main creative force is Pedro
No, but
Neto.
yeah, I'll still go for Wolves.
Wolves.
Sheffield United is just too bad.
That's
man.
true. No.
We are worse, but Sheffield United is too bad.
Hmm.
So I think I'll still go for a Wolves win.
Yeah, can't get worse than Plum last, to be honest.
Yeah.
But okay. Sean?
Wolves.
Wolves,
Easily, I think easily they should win. If Sheffield gets something from this game, it's like a big thing. But
Miracle.
Hmm.
Wolves 2-1. Wolves.
Yeah. I'm like leaning towards the same. I
Mm.
mean, it could be KG, and I don't know how Wolves
I
will
can
be.
see Sheffield scoring though. in
Yeah,
this
same.
game.
And I don't know how Wolves will be without Pedro Neto. It will be interesting to see. But yeah, 2-1 Wolves. I expect them to win. And yeah, with that, those are all the games from this weekend. Some big games to look forward to. Let us know what you think about, our takes. What you think of our predictions. Any predictions of your own? Please leave them down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. You've got our socials like on the overlay down here. And yeah, that's it from us. Thank you.
Hey, when is India playing next?
Oh, for God's
Sunday.
sakes, let's just wrap this up.
When
Just
is
let's
India playing?
Sunday.
cut,
Sunday they are playing?
please. I
देखना
don't want to talk
पड़ेगा
about
भाई.
cricket.
देखना पड़ेगा.
India. Go India. Ram Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.